guys, this is Kim with Fatty Patty Scrapper. Well, today is Saturday, and of course, if you heard anything about Texas weather, it is like super icy and snowy out. So anyway, I figured what better time to do this video than now. So this is kind of a little sample of what I want to make, and I didn't put the handles on this yet because this was just kind of like a little tryout, but it's kind of like a little Easter basket. Now, I saw this on Pinterest, and she had used 6x6 paper, and then I realized that for me, that was a little too tiny. Let me see if I can find, okay, so like, let me show you the difference. Okay, so this is how tiny that was. Now, this is cute for like little candy baskets or something like that, but if you really want to give somebody like a bigger gift, then I used 12x12 paper for this one. Now, the way I did this was a little bit unconventional, so you can try to, you know, manipulate this however you want. I mean, I'm not very good with fractions and stuff like that, so I kind of did the best I could. You might want to get 2 paper clips, so you're going to want one 12x12 piece of paper. You can use plain or decorated or both. But for now, I'm just going to do this one plain, and then I'm going to add my papers on top of it. I wanted this brown here, and I'm going to use Graphic 45 Sweet Sentiments. So this is kind of how I started out with this one. So on the 12x12 piece of paper, oh, you might want like a little circle punch. You're going to need a bigger one. Like, see how tiny this one is? Like, that's too small to me. So I use my Cricut because I don't have any other hole punches other than that small one. And so I made a larger size. This one's probably about 1.5 inches in diameter. So now we'll go ahead and start. This is really super easy. It looks difficult, but it's really not. So on your scoreboard, you're going to score it all the way down. You're going to, well, first of all, you want to make sure you start at the 0. So I've seen some people like move their paper around, and no, with this one, you can't. So you're going to start at the 4-inch and score all the way down. And then you're going to go to your 8-inch and score all the way down. Okay? You're going to rotate it one time, and you're going to do exactly the same thing, but you're going to stop at the first score line. Okay, so you're going to go 4 and 8. Okay, and then you're going to, what I do easily is flip it. 4 and 8. Sorry, that kind of moved on me, didn't it? Strange enough. Okay, so then you're going to keep it on this side, and then at the 4-inch on the far left side, you're going to score this at 1/4 inch. Okay, I'm going to hold this, and then you're going to flip it. Okay, so you're going to flip it like this. You're going to do the same on this side. I have no idea why I don't trust these scoreboards, but for me, I've done it where I've measured it over here and then it just didn't end up the same. So I like to do the flipping. I don't know. I really want to get a ScorePal. This is a Martha Stewart one. ScorePal has a newer scoreboard, and they made it so easy for us that all of it is, they have all the measurements on there. I'm like, hey, no brainer right there. So I'll get, I know I'll be much better at it with that. So, then you're just going to trim off those 1/4 inch little dealies here. Then you're going to put it back on the scoreboard at those the same side that you cut off your 1/4 inches, okay? So then you're going to score it at 1 1/4. Hold on, let me hold this down. So 1 1/4 and then 2.5. Okay, and then on this one, you're gonna scoot all the way down and you're gonna score it at the 9-inch line. And the 10.25. Okay. Then I'm going to flip it over so that they match up. Okay. So again, I'm going to do it 1.25. And then 2.5. Then at the 9. And then 10.25. Okay, now this is where it's going to get a little crazy here, because when I measured this out, I actually wanted to cut off a little bit more. So because I wanted it to be a little bit wider here, and I did the same thing on my littler one. This one was 8.5. So on my blog, I will put the measurements for you. I'm not going to do any pictures because obviously you can watch the video and, you know, see how it works. But I'll put all the measurements on there for you for the different sizes. I'll do the 6-inch, the 8.5, and then the 12-inch paper. But it will be cut down, you'll see, on one of the, well, 2 of the sides, really. So then I'm going to take it here and at the 3/8-inch line, I'm going to score all the way through. Okay. Then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do it the same thing, 3/8-inch line, and score it all the way down. I'm going to get my paper cutter, and I'm going to cut this off. The 3/8-inch line is going to go on both sides, and then you just put it in the trash. You actually probably will need another, probably like an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper if you don't want to use up a 12 by 12, so that you can have your handles and then your little circles here. Okay, so you just cut that off. Now this is where it gets fun. Okay, for me it's not so fun, but maybe for y'all, maybe y'all like this. Okay, so then here I'm going to, on my score lines, I'm going to cut them to that middle, this first score line, and then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do the same thing. So I know some people like to just go and then, like, I don't want to cut into this at all, so I will cut it at the end with a pair of scissors just to make sure that it does not go all the way through, because I don't want it to do that. I mean, I don't want to go past this score line, and knowing me, I will do that. So it's just easier for me to just hand cut it. Looks like I need, you'll hear my kids in the background. I'm sorry. Oh, it's Saturday, so they're here, and I was gonna do this yesterday, but I kind of ran out of time. It was a busy day for me yesterday. So I'm gonna flip it over and do my other side. And we're almost done here. 3 more to go. I just thought this would be like super cute to do for your, you know, for above your fireplace on the mantle. I like to do little decorations and stuff like that. You know, right now I'm trying to pretty much do a lot of my decorations myself for my house instead of constantly going to Hobby Lobby and, you know, spending money on something I could just make on my own. So then I'm going to come through here with the scissors. I mean, I don't know if you just went ahead and cut it to the score line, but I'm not so good at that. So I'm going to do it manually with my scissors. now it's gonna look something like you're gonna have 6 little dealies on each side. So now, oops, hold on, I guess I did do that. I did score it all the way down. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna bend this up a little bit and you'll see why. So basically I'm gonna take this, and this is my cheating way of not having to measure. I'm gonna kind of like bend this a little bit, and I'm gonna try to figure out where the center of this little dealie is. And this paper is really like a tight paper, so it's gonna fuss with me, aren't you? Okay, so now I know that this is basically my center. Well, almost. I'm gonna scoot over a little bit. I hate it when it like chooses to bend regardless of what I do. So, okay, you were just gonna be a little stinker. Let me do it this way then. There we go. I'm going to manipulate this. Okay, so then I know that this is my center now, okay? So I'm going to take my envelope. You don't have to use this, but for me, it's easier to do this. I'm going to put it right in the center there of my little punch. And I'm going to punch it like this, okay? I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Just do that. My booty. Okay, so I know this is my center. Okay. Then, I normally have a little ruler, but I don't know what I did with it. Oh, here it is. It's gonna be a lot easier. I'm going to use a pen, but you can use, I would probably use a pencil if I had one around here that was actually cut. Or sharpened, shall I say. Now I'm going to, you know, oops, make a triangle. Okay. So it's going to look something like this. I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. And pick the center of that. And, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but pretty close is good. If I had my Score Pal thingy, I would be able to do this triangle perfectly, but I don't know what I did with it, so... I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut this off. Sorry, my daughter's making muffins. Okay, then I'm going to cut the other side. Okay, so another thing about this particular size that I had to change up was the, she did a 1/4 inch right here. I'm actually going to do 3/8 an inch. I found, and she only did like the 2 middle ones. I'm cutting them all the way through. When I was doing it, it just kind of was in the way. So I'm going to score here. Same thing, flip it over. Oops. What did I do? I did the, uh-oh. Well, that's okay. We're going to score it at the, yeah, 3, nope, 1 1/8. Sorry. Hopefully I didn't do that too. Flip it over. Sorry, not 1 1/8. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like so crazy. The 3/8 inch. I don't know what my deal is today. It's every day, guys. Okay, yeah, my daughter's laughing. She knows. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and manually cut these with my scissors because you're not really gonna see these anyway. I'm gonna give it one more pair of scissors. Okay. And now you will notice that this one is a little bit skinnier, but I wanted it that way. And if I hadn't have done that, this would have been up much higher and you wouldn't have like a bigger bowl to work with. So that's why I kind of made this one skinnier on the ends. Okay, you're gonna get rid of that. Okay, so now you're gonna turn it to the side. And this is the best way I know how to do this. You can obviously do it different ways, but I'm gonna get my glue down here. Oh, 1 second, I'm getting my scrap perfect glue. Okay, and then I'm going to dab some glue on all of these little ends here. In fact, I'm just gonna do it this way. I'm gonna flip it over. Okay, and then I'm going to do kind of like a line down here, and a line halfway down here, and then I'm going to let it dry. So when this is dried to a sticky touch, I will be back. Okay guys, I'm back. So I totally realized that I need to do my strips to put on my basket. So what I'm going to do here is I measured my first one, and this one was about, I think 7/8 of an inch or so, almost an inch. But what I did was I'm going to make it 3/4. So yeah, so I kind of like, well, that looks a little too small. That's a little too skinny. Let's see here. That's okay. That's why I like to do these in little strips. So, we're gonna do it
close your door.
At about 3/4 of an inch. Here we go. So I'm gonna measure 3/4 of an inch. Oops, I'm doing my strip. And looks like I need new blade. But I don't have time for that. So what I'm gonna do, I'll just make it have a distressed look. How's that? So I'm going to use my walnut because I really like it. I think it goes well with this on the sides. And then I'm going to kind of measure it. I'm going to go ahead and carry it to the end. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and score it. I don't actually measure it up. I mean, you could do that, I suppose. But what I'm going to do is I'm assuming the other side is about the same size. So I'm going to fold it in half and then just kind of make a small little cut there. And then use my scissors and cut on that line too. And then go ahead and do my a little more straight. There we go. What happens when you cut it without using the score or the cutter, the cutting board? So yeah. Okay. So even though I have this glue on here, that is okay. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit on this strip. I would flip it over, but then it's gonna stick to my scoreboard and I don't want that to happen. So I'm just gonna continue on with this. And then just kind of center it. And do the same with the other side. And I probably should have done like two strips of 3/4 of an inch because it looks like I need more glue. Here. Oh boy. There we go. Okay. I think I forgot to mention this one is called Perfect Petals, this sheet of paper. So I'm going to put this cap on real quick and then flip it upside down so I don't have that problem next time. I'm going to do another 3/4 inch strip. Or sorry, 3/8. What was it, 3/4? Forgot already. Oh my goodness. I think it was 3/4. Whoa, uh-oh. I really do need, apparently. Well, guys, this always got to happen to me, right? The faux pas of cutting. This is why you use really good blades. Okay. And then again, I'm going to measure it. Draw a little line. Okay, then take my walnut again and then get these sides. So on this one, because I got that little mark there, I'm going to use it, I'm going to put that mark on the inside because it will be covered up once I, a little more glue. It'll be covered up once I fold it over. And looks like I forgot to do that. It's a good thing about the Scrap Perfect glue is that it doesn't like cover it instantaneously. You have time to correct a mistake. Then once you press it down really hard, then it's gonna stay, so. Okay. I'm gonna do that on this side. Okay, then I'm going to measure these two middle strips, which they should be about the same size. So they are 1 1/4. So I'm going to do 1 inch. I'll go ahead and score the 2 because I know I'm going to need 2 of them. Let's see if this doesn't tear this up this time. Let's pray it doesn't. Nope, this time it did it clean. I don't know what the deal was. No, it didn't. Okay, well. Alright, you can fix that. Just cut some of them off. And then I'm just going to, instead of using this again, I'm going to go ahead and hand cut that. I'm just going to cut these little extra hairs off, as I call them. Again, I'm going to come over and measure it. And, oops, hold it still, it'll be crooked. Score it. And then score and cut. I'm doing my best. Cut it as straight as I can. And then, oops, do my edges. Move my scissors out of the way. And if it bothers you like it's bothering me, I didn't cut it far enough over, so I'm going to redo that. Over here, do the same thing. Oops. Same thing on this strip. Cut out that little extra piece that I didn't center it properly, so get rid of that extra, because you know, as soon as it would not show up if you weren't inking it, you wouldn't notice. But once you ink it, man, that shows everything. Shows all your lovely little boo-boos. So if you cut something crooked, once you put the edging on it, the distress ink, it's going to show up. So sometimes